Oh, hi people. How you doing out there today? On a Friday afternoon, it's 6:16 p.m. in Colorado. It's cold, it's dark, it's going to be a little snow in the mountains, a lot of snow in the mountains this weekend. But I had to come and finish my video from yesterday. You know, yesterday I came on and we was talking about Daniel, we was talking about Revelations and all the stuff going on right now with Russia. And so I'm going to get more into the finishing touches of what I want to say yesterday. And it slipped away from me, coming from I High Calling. And so let me go ahead and get through the fair use notice, and then we will get through some things here. I'm going to play a song that I want to play, another song, same song I play from Mystery Babylon, from miYah. So, you know, we definitely are rolling down the road of Daniel and the Revelation and Mystery Babylon and the things coming on the earth. I don't know the night they say supposed to be a big asteroid coming by through the moon and the earth or something. I'm going to be playing some reports from the Israel News, TV7, BP Earthwatch, and just get into some quick news and Israel news, and then we're going to get into the Bible over in Ezekiel 15th chapter. I got Ezekiel 15th chapter late last night, and it's talking about Israel. Really amazingly how Yeshua going to have to deal with Israel over there in that Holy Land. He's going to have to deal with them. So I'm going to share that with you, and then I'm going to get away and let you guys enjoy the rest of the night. But I just have to come do this now because I know tomorrow I may not be doing a video tomorrow. I may not just be my Sabbath video. But I'm wearing my hat, Jesus Christ. You know why I'm wearing my hat, Jesus Christ? Kind of because it matched my shirt. But other than that, I'm wearing it because people get all caught up on names, you know, of names of Messiah, you know. And I know his name is Ahia. I've been knowing that a lot of months and years now from my other friend that live in California. I didn't hear from, I know Carrie Gedden is talking about it a lot, but I heard it some years ago, as I mentioned on my channel. I even had her come on the channel and show you, I think, Marlene, about the Ahia. But we just want to know that I know he have many names, but I mean, when I came to him at 16, I didn't know him. I knew him as Jesus Christ. And people just get uptight about that. And I don't know why they get uptight about that. But he's the one that's winning souls and healing people and been delivering people for many years using Jesus Christ's name. So we shouldn't get hung up on that. But I'm glad to know that he is the higher Messiah. He absolutely is. And he is that what he is. You know, Yeshua, HaMashiach. He have so many names. You ever known him to make one variety of thing? I never known him to do that. Thousands of varieties of food, thousands of varieties of vegetables, fruits, trees, you know, all these things going on. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that's really funny. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why the TV is something here. But anyway, let me get through the fair use notice here. Just had to bring that out while I'm wearing my hat, because some people say, I know somebody told me one day, why are you wearing that hat? You know, people need to get over it, really. You know, we need to stop being so much in animosity, rebelliousness, you know, judgment, and just love the Lord and serve him and find him. As I say, seek him while you can find him. That is the most important thing we should be doing now, seeking his face for yourself, having your own testimony. Okay, that's most important than anything else. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get to this song here, Mystery Babylon, and we'll get into the other news and things right now immediately following, because it's windy outside here too tonight. And I have to pray the wind away a lot of times. It gets so dangerous and strong. I have to say, I rebuke you, wind, you know. It really works, people. That's why we're going to talk about that tonight, you know, from the I High Calling. It's going to really important message about Daniel, what he said. And I was telling you guys yesterday, you know, we need to pray out loud. We need to pray out loud. So let me go ahead and do this now. Play this song and read it out. Wonderful song. Look at the screen and see the words on the screen. It's a wonderful video.
his word. Prepare for famine, fire, and the sword. They shall weep from afar as the merchants realize none are left to buy their merchandise. Power is given to the beast to bring torture, death, and disease. It's time to fall upon your face and pray. Turn from your wicked and worldly ways. Come out from among her, my people, before it's too late. Come out from her, my people, lest you share in her fate. In her heart she says, I am queen. But in heaven, that's not how she's seen. The bridegroom's coming for his bride. He's looking for those who are purified, washed in the blood of the Lamb. There's a remnant who shall stand, and they will have the law and the testimony. For if they speak not according to the law and the testimony, there is no truth in them. And they sing the song of Moses and the song of the Lamb. Shimmy-la-la, shimmy-la-la.
TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian claims that the Islamic Republic is trying to reach a serious and good agreement despite Western skepticism. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin reaffirms Washington's unwavering commitment to Israel's security in the face of Iranian threats. Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid dubs Israel-Egypt relations as vital for regional stability. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian claims that the Islamic Republic is trying to reach a serious and good agreement. However, in Tehran's view, thus far it has not received constructive or forward-looking proposals from the United States. These remarks were voiced by the Ayatollah regime's top diplomat ahead of yesterday's resumption of talks in the Austrian capital Vienna, following voiced allegations by the United States, France, Britain, and Germany, blaming the Islamic Republic for not taking the nuclear negotiations seriously. Nevertheless, the European Union's External Action Service political director, Enrique Mora, who coordinates the talks in Vienna, held a press briefing after meeting the respective delegations, voicing an impression of a renewed sense of purpose.
What I felt this morning was from both delegations, not only the Iranian one, all delegations, a renewed sense of purpose and the need to work and to reach an agreement on bringing the JCPOA back to life. This is my impression from this morning. Whether that will be confirmed and endorsed by negotiations on the details, we will see the coming days.
It is important to stress that while the EU, alongside Russia and China, have seemingly sided time and again with the Iranian narrative, as part of which the United States is to blame for Iran's recent leap toward nuclear weapon capabilities, and therefore the ultimate necessity for Washington to succumb to Tehran's demands to lift all sanctions imposed on the Ayatollah regime before the latter would gradually limit its nuclear progress. Nevertheless, neither the United States nor Germany, France, and Britain are willing to negotiate a revival of a so-called JCPOA under what Berlin termed as unrealistic terms. And while under the terms of the 2015 deal, US and European sanctions on select proliferation-linked entities are set to lapse as early as 2023, and advanced centrifuge restrictions begin to sunset as early as 2024, the United States under the Biden administration continues to regard the so-called JCPOA as the best way to ensure that Iran can never acquire a nuclear weapon.
At the present moment, we remain focused on diplomacy and focused on diplomacy to see if it can deliver a mutual return to compliance with the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. We continue to believe that a mutual return to compliance with the JCPOA is possible. And we believe, again, that diplomacy and coordination with our closest allies, our European allies that are part of the P5+1, but also the partners that are part of that configuration, provides the best, the most durable means for addressing our collective concerns with Iran's nuclear program, and for addressing what it is that all of us seek, and that is to ensure that Iran can never acquire a nuclear weapon.
The remarks by the State Department spokesman were made shortly before Secretary of State Antony Blinken held a meeting with visiting Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz. And while naturally refusing to speak to any contingency planning taking place, Price confirmed that alternative options are being deliberated to ensure that Iran is never able to acquire a nuclear weapon.
I wouldn't want to speak to contingency planning. I wouldn't want to speak to what we might be contemplating if the path for diplomacy towards a mutual return to compliance isn't viable in the near term. But we are discussing those alternatives. We are discussing those options with our close partners, with our close allies, and that includes with the Israelis. We have already had good discussions with the Israelis about the path forward and how we can work together to ensure that Iran is never able to acquire a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, during a meeting held at the Pentagon between U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and Defense Minister Benny Gantz, the former seized the opportunity to reiterate Washington's unwavering commitment to Jerusalem's security.
As you know, the United States remains unwavering in its commitment to Israel's security, including maintaining Israel's qualitative military edge. We share Israel's deep concerns about the Iranian government's destabilizing actions, including its support for terrorism, its missile program, its alarming nuclear advances. Mr. Minister, we are completely aligned in our commitment to preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. This is a national security interest of the United States and Israel and the world.
Secretary Austin went on to highlight the U.S. concern over Iran's nuclear actions in recent months and highlighted the U.S. Defense Department's commitment to work with all of Washington's partners in the region to address the wide range of Iranian threats.
I'm deeply concerned about the Iranian government's nuclear actions in recent months, both its continued provocations and its lack of constructive diplomatic engagement. The President has made clear that if diplomacy fails, we are prepared to turn to other options. The Department of Defense will continue to work closely with all of our partners throughout the region, including Israel first and foremost, to ensure that we're working together to address Iranian threats. We will defend ourselves, we will defend our friends, and we will defend our interests.
Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz, for his part, highlighted the characteristics of the U.S.-Israel partnership, which he asserted to be founded on trust, all the while emphasizing the need to confront the Iranian threat, which is not merely an Israeli problem.
There is no stronger and more unshakable bond than that between Israel and the United States. One based on shared values, on common strategic interests, and as you yourself said, Mr. Secretary, during your visit to Israel last April, our bond is based on trust. I look forward to deepening our dialogue and cooperation vis-à-vis Iran, including the topics of joint military readiness, to face Iran and to stop its regional aggression and nuclear aspiration.
Jerusalem's top defense official continued by highlighting the importance of ensuring Israel's qualitative military edge in the region, which guarantees Israel's security on the one hand and bolsters its regional standing on the other, regarded by the United States as an encouraging reality which it hopes to build upon.
I'm encouraged by our long-standing partnership and by Israel's growing new partnerships with other countries in the region. The relationships being forged today by Israel, Bahrain, the UAE, Morocco, and others open up new opportunities for shared responsibility, growing prosperity, security cooperation, and people-to-people ties. I applaud the courageous steps of countries like Morocco, where you, Minister Gantz, recently signed an historic defense memorandum that will increase intelligence sharing, research, and joint military training.
It is interesting to know that while Israel bolsters its relations with the Kingdom of Morocco, the latter's eastern adversary, Algeria, is working to deepen its involvement with the Palestinians. Earlier this week, Palestinian Authority Chairman Mahmoud Abbas held a meeting with his Algerian counterpart Abdelmajid Tebboune, where the latter pledged Algiers' unwavering support for the Palestinian cause and announced his intention to host rival Palestinian factions to assist in reconciliation talks in the near future.
خديت الرخصة من أخي الرئيس أبو مازن أننا سنجمع كل الفرقاء الفلسطينيين في الجزائر في أقرب وقت إن شاء الله.
It is interesting to know that to date, Egypt acted as the key broker of talks between rival Palestinian factions. However, in recent weeks, the Islamist Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip, has increasingly voiced frustration with Cairo officials over a claimed bias in Israel's favor. Separately, upon return from Egypt last night, Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid highlighted the unique and improved relations between Cairo and Jerusalem.
בתחילתו של היום הארוך הזה, בשיחתי עם הנשיא הסיסי, דיברנו על זה שהחיבור בין ישראל למצרים הוא חיבור של עוצמה. עוצמה כלכלית, עוצמה ביטחונית, עוצמת השותפות בין המדינה הערבית הגדולה והחשובה ביותר לבין ישראל, והעוצמה הזו עומדת היום לטובת הטיפול בנושאים כמו איראן, כמו כלכלת תמורת ביטחון בעזה, ושיתופי פעולה כלכליים שכמותם עוד לא היו בינינו.
Thank you for watching us. As part of TV7 Israel's prayer initiative, I would like to encourage you today to join the team and me here in Jerusalem to lift up Thailand in prayer for its salvation and peace, alongside prayers for our persecuted brothers and sisters worldwide, in addition to our ongoing prayers, of course, for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hassan, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom u'Mevorach, and we will see you again on Monday at the same time.
James Kaufman, World News Report today. Ladies and gentlemen, today is December 10th, 2021, 5 p.m. Central here in the USA. God bless you and yours no matter where you are in the world, folks. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, JPL and NASA have just discovered 2021 XV4. It's set to split and fly between the Earth and the Moon tonight, December 10th, 2021. The solution date of discovery was yesterday, supposedly, although the information was just released. Again, 2021 XV4, they're saying it's about 20 to 25 feet in diameter, although they've had very few observations. And they're also saying that they're guesstimating that it will be 0.5 lunar distances from Earth, or right in between the Earth and the Moon. Now, the worst part about this, guys, is it was first observed on the 8th, i.e. 2 days ago, and they only had 19 total observations using Automatic, which is the AI software. But the very worst part is the condition code of 8. That means they have no idea what the orbit is, i.e. highly uncertain. Okay, orbit uncertainty estimates 0 to 9, with 0 being good and 9 being highly uncertain. We have a condition code of 8 with a 25-foot in diameter asteroid 2021 XV4 inbound for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you and yours. Please share, please subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in Bizarro World.
From Off-Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrienne. This is Friday, December 10th, 2021. So we have some very, very dire news. Really didn't want to have to bring you this news, but it does look like my battery is running low. You got, hold on a second. I got to plug my computer in. Hold on. Sorry about that, folks. We just got in from the store and I forgot to plug my computer in. So we got some very dire news. It does look like that unless we get a miracle, that we could be going to war with Russia, probably China. I'm going to read you all the details tonight. Let me see if I can find this here. So what's been happening over the last couple months is that Ukraine moved a lot of forces in opposite of the Donbass area, opposite of the Crimea area, and we haven't been encouraging this whole situation from the beginning. What you're seeing unfold right before your eyes has been planned probably for 20 or 30 years. This is not something that is just come up recently. This has been planned for many, many years. And unfortunately, the United States and NATO want to provoke Russia into a war, and it looks like they're going to get their wish. As we have been reporting the last week, Russia has been requesting that NATO and the United States put in writing that they would quit encroaching on Russian territory on their border, putting missiles and troops threatening their national security. Russia has made it very, very clear that they do indeed have red lines, and if those red lines are crossed, then they will take care of the situation themselves. Now, this situation all started back in April and May of this year, when Russia had a massive drill involving over 250,000 troops and equipment on the Russian-Ukraine border. Now, at that time, everybody thought that we were going to war then. but Russia concluded their drill and did not invade Ukraine. But they did move all their equipment down on the border. They delivered all the equipment that they would need for an invasion at that time. So the situation just flared up a couple of weeks ago when the United States, Lloyd Austin, our defense secretary, made 2 emergency trips to Ukraine, and Ukraine started massing troops on the border again in the Donbass area and in the Crimea area. Now, ever since Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, there has been a undercurrent of war because the United States and NATO and all the other countries keep on stating that we respect the territorial integrity of Ukraine. They do not recognize Crimea as Russian Federation land or territory. We totally reject that. And Russia and Putin has told the United States and NATO that Crimea will forever be Russian territory, that they will never give Crimea back. There's also 2 republics in the Donbass area that are mainly Russian speaking, and these Russian speaking areas are one of the bones of contention that Ukraine wants to take over. So this has been going on since 2014. So now it has finally come to a head. Russia has given the West and NATO their last warning. Yet every day this week, the United States and NATO continue to provoke Russia. We have sent our warships into the Black Sea. We are challenging the coastline of Crimea and the Russian territorial waters. A Ukrainian warship was sent heading right toward the Kerch Strait yesterday. The Russian FSB ordered this ship to turn around. They did not respond. Finally, at the last moment, this warship turned around. But we are trying to provoke Russia into sinking a ship or shooting down fighter jets. Now, the last couple of days, the French have sent at least 5 fighter jets or more into the Crimea area close to Russia. Russia had to respond and send their fighters up to ward off these NATO fighter jets. Today, the United States sent a surveillance craft very close to Crimea in the Black Sea. Also today, Russia had to send up fighter jets, ward it off, folks. So we are 2,000 to 3,000 miles away from our homeland, the United States. We have troops, we have equipment, we have missiles on the border with Russia. Russia, that's where they live. Russia lives there. We don't live there. But yet we have shipped our soldiers, we have shipped our armaments threatening Russia's survival. And they take this very seriously. So about a couple of weeks ago, Russia started telling the world that they have red lines. And if you cross these red lines, there will be serious consequences.
Yeah, guys, it's war coming. Okay, I seen this thing about Russia when I first met my husband, actually back in 2009. I got a day vision about Russia, but it's really happening before us. I'm gonna go and show another video by I don't show him on my channel very often, but I'm gonna show my brother here from Tennessee. Pastor Dowell, he got a report about China and Russia. I'm going to show some of that as well. And then I'm going to get into some other news and get into the Bible, because I don't want this to be an extremely long video. So I'm going to go ahead and show him a little bit. And then we're going to get into some things coming from Carrie Getting. I don't even know if I'm going to show. I'm not going to probably play her video. I'm just going to show you the video. And you can go play it on your own time. But I just want to get into this thing about Russia mostly. Showing you guys about the Arctic blast coming from BP Earthwatch report. And that's going to be pretty much it, because I don't want to have this a long video. So let me go ahead and do that now. Get on over here to Pastor Dowell real quick. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's mute it out. I already played it, so it's nothing wrong with it or nothing. You know, he can be very expressive at times. But let me go ahead and put this over here, muted.
Right. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dow here. Okay, enough with the dog and pony show, enough with the circus, enough with the distractions. Camera there, huh? Enough with all the crap that is going on in the world, especially the distractions more than anything. Let me lay out something to the American public. Let me tell you that it's the standard operating procedure of this government to keep the American public in dark. Now, what I've been trying to do is hold off as long as I can while giving direction, telling you what you need to do. I think, personally, that the United States of America is getting ready for war. And I think that all this tomfoolery and buffoonery and dementia and this sickness that's ran by a so-called presidential leader today in his cabinet is nothing more than a distraction. I think the ideal is to divide America and get it so far to the left of upset that we continue to keep bickering and fighting over issues, and we ignore the real thing. Let me paint a picture. We've been in the desert for over 20-something years, tucked tail and ran, pretty much same thing I told you in history, to a stalemate. Nobody's ever beat these people. Nobody can beat their poverty. 20 years of the most sophisticated weapons that a country could have. 20 years of losing American lives. All for a conflict that has been called a war, that has never been declared a war by the Congress. We've been done got, allegedly, if he was the issue, Saddam Hussein. You would have thought that they would have ended it right there, but kept on going because the military-industrial complex has an agenda. Now listen to me. Don't lull yourself to sleep and don't rock yourself to sleep while I'm speaking. Because what I'm going to say and what I have to say is not the popular perspective and point of view. If you watched my videos, I've been giving subtle direction on what you should be doing and how you should be preparing. And of course, most people think of the end times and things like that. Well, I'm telling you something else. I said, you know, if the news media parades out something in front of you, and they continue to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, then all of a sudden they pivot and they own another issue. While we never had any closure to this issue, meaning we abruptly just got out of Afghanistan. We abandoned Americans over there, showing this country don't care nothing about its people. And what was the purpose and cause of that? I mean, yeah, we upset and we're on fire, but I've learned the history of this country over years that if they're doing one thing, you really truly need to pay attention to international news sources that's not talking about the things that we're talking about in this country right here. But also pay attention to how the news media loves distracting we the people over foolishness. What do I think is getting ready to get geared up? What's getting geared up? I think that after watching the Chinese and the Russians being invited to a summit to speak about certain human rights and things like that, and them not showing up, it told me everything I needed to know. While we have been at war, perpetual war with over in the desert, the sandbox, for 20-something years, China and Russia has been quietly preparing itself with hypersonic missiles. What does that mean? That means, as far as I know, America doesn't have any defense against these. And these hypersonic missiles are intercontinental ballistic missiles that can travel at 5 times the speed of sound, and can travel over 5,000 miles and hit its target with precision. They can actually be armed with nuclear warheads, and there pretty much ain't nothing we can do about it. At least that's what's being said. All right. I think that the technology that America has is never truly really disclosed out on the world scene until the conflict really escalates. But the news media job is to get you in front of that one-eyed monster called a TV set and get you distracted and get you so full of yourself. They want you self-centered, self-focused, self-absorbed. They want you to get all stirred up and distracted by issues that in the grand scheme of things, it really don't mean nothing. Do we really truly care that Andrew Cuomo resigned? No, we don't. Do we really truly care that Chris Cuomo got fired from CNN? No, we don't. We don't really truly care at all. We know that Congress is going to kick the proverbial bucket down the road, kick the can down the road, and we know they're going to raise up the debt ceiling again because they don't have the stomach to balance the budget. We know it's going to happen. We know we're going to go bed. We're going to beg and squabble to the Fed to raise our debt ceiling because we don't have any solutions. The buffoons up there in Congress, 535 people, they don't have any ideas and solutions. They just don't. And what perfect plan that it could be than to send up the most spiritually retarded president that has ever been in the history of mankind, put Joe Biden, old decrepit dementia himself, up there on the world stage that can't even talk without a teleprompter, than to set up and have him to be a representative of the United States, making us thereby look weak and impotent. But what's really truly going on? What's really truly going on? Well, China has been talking about Taiwan for a long time. China has already done moved its forces in position, and they're getting ready to launch a preemptive attack against Taiwan. And they've already told America, don't you come meddling around in our business. And America said, we're going to defend Taiwan. And of course, our only launching pad from there would either have to be Guam or Australia. But America is quietly gearing up for war. And China, if you realize over the years how much they've been doing in the Pacific. Now we've done moved from the desert, the sandbox, and we done turn our sights over into the Pacific where people like it, comprehend it or not. And the Chinese government is telling its people, store food. What's Pastor Dow been telling you to do? Store food. Every single time you go to the store, you buy some long-term food storage, because you're not going to be able to continue to keep eating 3 squares and a cot and enjoying all this so-called liberty, because this next war that's on the horizon, and believe me, I wish I didn't even have to get up here and make this video. This next war, we're getting ready to see what it means to have a taste of the Great Depression. Because this next war that's on the horizon right here is going to be, again, it's shaping up to be a world war. And right now, China is feeling themselves, and Russia is feeling themselves. Not only, and I think their plan is to get America and NATO, the Allied forces, divided on 2 fronts. Because I think they have a lot of confidence in these hypersonic missiles. And right now, you notice that Russia's done moved over 100,000 soldiers to the west of them, getting ready to invade Ukraine, out of which we've gave our opinions and our statements on that as well. We have depleted our arsenals because we have just been warmongering and whoremongering for 20-something years. And the only people that's really truly got rich off of this was the military industrial complex. And so while we're distracted by mandates, while we're distracted over alternative lifestyles, and while we're distracted over Roe v. Wade and all these other nonsensical stuff that really, you know, it's something when you can get everybody's eyes to look that way. And then when something is going this way, nobody can say anything. Nobody understands anything. Nobody can see. Nobody has any vision, because the book says without a vision the people perish. But Pastor Dowd, I'm keeping an eye on these shysters. I wouldn't doubt that a draft could possibly be implemented here in the near future, pending the buildup. Because I'm telling you right now, America is building up in the Pacific. Big time, they're building up. And they're also building up over there at the west, over there with Ukraine. And the American people are too busy YouTubing, laughing, having a good time, getting giddy. Just dismal ignorance. But again, when China didn't show up to that summit, that told me everything I needed to know. I've watched news sources where, I mean, they're talking pretty bold, pretty dang bold. And guess what? Our government is getting ready to default again on its debt, unless they do something about it the 15th of December. So we got a conflict brewing over here in the Pacific with China and Taiwan and Russia and the Ukraine over here. And America, I'm sorry, we can't be the world's police force. China says clearly there's only one China, and Taiwan is part of China. America says no, they're independent. And we're their ally. And if you make an attack on them, you make an attack on us, and so let's get it on. You know, for years and years and years and years and years, people have often talked about and said that, you know, I can't really see this. And, you know, if you talk about something so much, people get to the point where it gets so redundant that, you know, you just kind of poo-poo it. And as years continue to keep stacking up and going by, the days are long and the years are short, people start to lose, you know, their attention from it. Their attention span is very short. They don't want to hear this mess no more. They got other things better to do, you know, like get entertained. But I think we're getting ready for the big one. Now, do I have the insider secrets like a lot of these politicians do? They parade out in front of the TV cameras and act like that they're subject matter experts just because they are loaded with information. No, I'm coming off the cuff right here. And I'm paying attention to what the news media don't want us to pay attention to. And so with that said, I think that now is the time, since we're supposed to be loading up and should have never stopped loading up on food, we should do that. Make sure we have a good, clean source of water and ammo. Because right now, Russia and China, they got a plan. They've been communicating with each other. And they have watched America extremely close. And so all these sanctions and all this other stuff that they got planned and going on, and you know, that's the only thing that America can do nowadays is just threaten other countries with sanctions. Well, it's not working anymore, because what do you do when China's already told their people to get ready for rough times? Start storing food. Start getting yourself ready. I mean, they're no longer, them in Russia no longer are fearing that stuff no more, because they're tasting victory. China's never stopped in this quest to become the one sole lone world leader. They want everybody goose stepping. And I remember some time ago, y'all better get ready to start teaching your children Mandarin, because with the buffoonery and the choices and decisions that we're making nowadays, it's just totally off the chain what's going on. Do not lose focus of what's really happening in this world. Pay attention to real news. Get away from mainstream news media that all they're designed to do, who cares about a trial or because somebody falsified some information trying to keep racism going in America? Who cares about that stuff? Nobody cares about that stuff. It's just sad. So I hope in some way, shape, fashion, or form that I've at least done my part to put a defibrillator on your mind, and that you would watch this video and send it out to more people, and you will become sober-minded and really truly start paying attention to the real news and not the Ringling Brothers, Barnum Bailey circus news that's going on through mainstream news media. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. That's my prayer.
Guys, you're looking at current images. This is 6:04 p.m. Central Time tonight of the National Weather Service map. Let me point this out first for all you guys in this area: North Mississippi into Arkansas, Western Tennessee, Western Kentucky, up into Indiana and Illinois here. You've got tornado warnings in two places, multiple ones, but all of the yellow area is a tornado watch area. What is happening is we're about to get a very good winter blast, and this one's going to be pretty much nationwide. And we've seen for the last month or so a very mild winter, and I really enjoyed it. For you guys down in the southeast where I'm at, a lot of days to catch up and get some stuff on the outside done, regardless of what it was, or just the ability to work outside without melting down is pretty nice. It was like a very long fall, but it's starting to come to an end. We're going to have a freeze here in southern Mississippi and up through the central area tomorrow night on Saturday night. But guys, if you're in this area, again, you can see here in Arkansas, Western Kentucky, you've got tornado warnings now. So go to your weather radio, check your TV stations, make sure all of that's turned on, make sure you have some batteries for in case you lose some power. A tornado can rip right through power lines or lay a tree across them. It doesn't take but a minute, and that's done. So charge up your phones, your laptops, things like that. Check on all of that. More than likely you've been paying attention to it. So you do that now. Now the rest of the nation, guys, you got red flag warnings in Oklahoma, Texas, and up into Nebraska. That's because the cold front that's moving in. This is going to be a game changer. Again, right now, 6:06 p.m., it is in the 70s outside. The sun's gone down. It's dark. In the 70s. That's one of the most dangerous signs when you're changing from fall to winter, that you can, one of the things that will definitely cause tornadoes, hot air that's way above normal mixing with cold air. So you're going to have to pay attention to this. Now, if you look up into the central Nebraska, all through this area, guys, you've got freeze watches, winter storm warnings, winter storm watches. Up in the higher elevations, you've got high wind warnings. And look at the hard freeze warnings that are all the way into southern Arizona and into California, higher elevations there, into Nevada and along the coast. Check this out. Just across the entire nation now, we're seeing old man winter make this advance. And I did a video, and all of you remember it, about that AccuWeather and the Farmer's Almanac said this would be a long and cold winter.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, it's cold right now to me. It's going to be really a cold winter. Instead of me playing today, Maranatha, I'm going to go to Our High Calling and read to you what I wanted to read to you yesterday when I was on, coming from chapter 351, the little blue book, the green book. It's a green book by my bad, but and this is what we was talking about, Revelation and Daniel. And so I'm going to read this, and then we're going to jump over to Ezekiel 15. The time is gone already. It's so quick to get through an hour video, man. It just, I try to keep them a little short sometime, but usually an hour and a half. So I want to try to do an hour video today, not quite an hour and a half. But this is coming out of the lion's mouth. And I thought it was very, very interesting when I seen this. The Father showed me this because I'm always talking about this stuff myself with people to read out loud, to pray out loud. Pray out loud is so effective. Your prayer is your weapon. I have my T-shirt in there saying, prayer is the weapon. And it is the weapon, but we can't, we got to use our mouth, people. We really do. So I thought I'm going to read this to you and see what you say, hear what Daniel is saying. Out of the lion's mouth. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Matthew 10:28. Daniel is an example to believers as to what it means to confess Christ. He held the responsible position of prime minister in the kingdom of Babylon, and there were those who were envious of Daniel among the great men of the court, and they wanted to find something against him that they might bring an accusation against him to the king. But he was a faithful statesman, and they could find no flaw in his character or life. Oh man, what a wonderful thing to say. No flaws, man, no flaws. Working on it, people. So they agreed together to ask the king to make a decree that no one should ask any petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of the king. And if any disobeyed this decree, he was to be cast into the den of lions. But did Daniel cease to pray because this decree was to go into force? No, that was just the time when he needed to pray. Absolutely. We don't need to run and go and hide ourselves and and get scared and fearful. We need to pray. Absolutely. Daniel did not seek to hide his loyalty to God. He did not pray in his heart, silently, but with his voice aloud, with his window open towards Jerusalem, he offered up his petition to heaven. Then his enemies made their complaint to the king, and Daniel was thrown into the den of lions, but the Son of God was there. When the king came in the morning and called, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thy servest continuously able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel, and have shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. And you can find that story in Daniel 6:20-22. We may know that if our life is hid with Christ in God, when we brought into trial because of our faith, Jesus will be with us. When we are brought before rulers and dignitaries to answer for our faith, the Spirit of the Lord will illuminate our understanding, and we shall be able to bear a testimony to the glory of God. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And if we are called to suffer for Christ's sake, we shall be able to go to prison trusting in him as a little child trusting his parents. Now is the time to cultivate faith in God. This is absolutely the time, people. This is not the time to run to the other side. Decide, I better take this because, I don't know what can happen to me. You need to trust the Father. I'm telling you, this is this message and this message today. The message coming from Ezekiel going to be even more mightier. We need to trust in him now as things seem to be tumbling down, crumbling down, shaking, quaking. As they say, the whole world was, one after the beast system. But he's saying that everything can be shaken, will be shaken. And we need to be understanding that those that do not go, those that, with all these things happening around us, it means that we will remain. He said those people who don't get up and get fearful and run and go crazy, they will remain. They will remain in Yeshua. They will be strong with Yeshua. They will stand. He will stand with us. He will not leave his people. He said he will be with us. What he said? He will always be with us even until the end of the age. The end of the age. It's no need of being fearful right now. This is a time to be Oh God, I want you guys to go. I'm just going to say that, and I'm going to go over here now before we get to the Bible real quick before I forget about it. I want you to go and listen to the horrors of screams in the coming 3 days of darkness with Carrie Gedden. I'm not going to play her today, and for time's sake, I don't want this a long video. And I want you to go and look at this. I haven't even looked at it, but I know he got some good something to say here. I'm going to watch it here in a minute. It's time for heroism. Absolutely. Be strong and have courage in Yeshua, your master, your savior. It's no time to be shrinking down, people. No time to be running away. No time to be crying. No time to be giving up in any way, shape, form, okay? So I want you to go listen to this. I may even ask questions about it when I come back on my next video. But I'm telling you, we need to know that we're in this hour, like Dowell just said. We need to understand what we are doing and who we're listening to. Stop listening to this fake news, because they're not telling you the truth. We're about to go to war, people. We're about to go to war. I'm telling you, it's coming. Absolutely. Wait, let's see. Yeah, it's coming. War. They're getting ready. They're getting ready on in the sea, out of the sea, in the air. They are getting ready for war. And so we need to be getting ready too and following our Father, our Savior. It's a red alert to give your life to Messiah Yeshua today. Give your life to him today, because he is coming very, very soon. Very, very soon. When the trumpet sound, he's going to come, people. So it's time to get ready, get ready, get ready. It's time to seek him while he may be found. Call on him while he is near. Because we know all these things going to be happening. Earthquakes, megaquakes, asteroids, fireball, missile, bombs, nuclear attacks could happen. We could have anything go wrong anytime, anywhere, any place. But we need to know when we with our Father, if we living in our Father and he living in us, we have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear, people. So I'm going to go ahead and get on to the Bible here. My husband have come to join me. I got him out of his comfortable place to come join me to read. I like him to read. So we're going to go here to Jerusalem. You go to Amplified Version, they talk about Jerusalem, a useless vine. He's probably going to go to the Son of Man Bible version. But I'm telling you, this is so important, because I get this last night. And I'm saying, Father, what's going on? He's telling me, war. And in Jerusalem, I'm going to go through some things in Jerusalem. Because it's just really, we are really understanding. He's trying to shake us up. He's trying to wake us up. And we're still sleeping. We're still like we don't know what's going on in the world, people. So it's time to really, really be about our Father's business, okay? So, Father, be with us as we go to Ezekiel, not but 8 verses. I was thinking about the 8 days of Hanukkah. You know, that's what came to my mind. And we're going to be going through all this stuff in the time of Hanukkah, seem like. Something about to break out. Something's about to happen. Father, be with your people. Help us to wake up. Help us to really understand that the prophecies are before us. Daniel in Revelation and John in Revelator. All these things are before us right now. Father, help us to be wise. Help us to be wise. Give us wisdom. Let your Holy Spirit be with us as we read your word right now. We ask in the mighty name of Yeshua Messiah. So go ahead and read it for us. And I tell you, it's just exciting times, man. Exciting times.
Then the word of Yahuwah came to me and said, Son of man, how is a vine better than any tree with branches that is among the trees in the forest? Do people take wood from a vine to make anything, or do they make a peg from it to hang anything on it? See, if it is thrown into a fire as fuel, and if the fire has burned both of its ends and also the middle, is it good for anything? See, when it was complete, it could not make anything. Surely then, when the fire has burned, then it still will not make anything useful. Therefore, Lord Yahuwah says this, Unlike the trees in the forest, I have given the vine as fuel for fires. I will act in the same way toward the inhabitants of Jerusalem. For I will set my face against them. Though they come out from the fire, yet the fire will consume them. So you'll know that I am Yahuwah when I set my face against them. Then I will make the land into an abandoned wasteland, because they have committed sin, Lord Yahuwah declares.
So that's what it's about, sin, people. We have not repented. As the song used to say, somewhere is here, and in the scripture, and we haven't not repented. We just keep playing, like Dowell said, everybody partying, everybody just. I couldn't believe the other night somebody told me they were going to a concert in my family. I'm like, you know, I got over that stuff years and years ago in my 20s probably. I was tired of partying and dancing on the weekend. And do people get tired of that? I mean, really, I don't know. I keep doing the same old thing, the same old thing. They act like we're gonna be on this earth forever, forever and forever. And so it's about to be over, people. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I don't have nothing else to tell you today. I'm just telling you now that we need to be getting ready. I hope you guys have a wonderful Shabbat Shalom. If you don't see me here tomorrow, if I come tomorrow, it'll be something urgently come up. But I'm probably going to take a rest to do some studying tomorrow. So I just want to thank you for all your offerings to help the homeless, the orphans, the widows, those in need of mission fields. May Yahuwah richly bless each and every one of you. Donation options is Tidely app, Cash App, Bump Card. Also other donation options are fmcmi.org and PayPal at marner.com, at gmail.com, at PayPal. And also you can mail in your donations at Fill My Cup Ministries, Post Office Box 414, Canyon City, Colorado 81215. And then shipping address is Fill My Cup Ministries, 1501 Main Street, number 414, Canyon City, Colorado 81212. So you guys have a wonderful and wonderful Shabbat Shalom. And I love you guys so much. And also, not only Shabbat Shalom, we got Hanukkah here, Hanukkah here. So we're going to be doing Hanukkah. And so I hope you guys enjoy the weekend here. It's a wonderful weekend. And please, please, please just always be seeking the Father while you can find him, while call on him while he's near, because time is short, people, very short right now. No time to play games anymore, as I had all these people on the channel telling you these things. And so keep up with the news, the right news, okay, and really know to be prepared, stay prepared, be prepared. So I'll see you guys in another video. I love you guys so much, and I'll come back with another video if I have to, okay, but I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom. I love you guys so much. Shabbat Shalom. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pray. We always forget about that sometime.
Sometimes.
Once in a while. Yeah.
No, so we're in constant prayer here, Father.
Yeah.
We just thank you so much. Bless everyone who gets to view the video, Father. Thank you for the opportunity to share your word again, share videos, keep people updated with what's happening in this planet. Thank you that we're grinding down to the end. We thank you for that. Send Yeshua. We need to see Hasatan arrested soon, thrown into the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. We look forward to that, and look forward to meeting you, giving you a big hug, and receiving a big hug. In Yeshua's name, amen.
Yeah, we don't forget to pray. I pray constantly, guys, for you guys. Really, it doesn't make you think I don't pray. I'm praying all the time, day and night. I pray in the evening and I pray in the night. And I'm praying constantly, twice a day or more, every day, every day. Thank you for the prayers, because my missionaries need prayers, my family need prayers, you need prayers, the world need prayers, and I'm praying over the whole universe every night. Just everybody, homeless, widows, orphans. We need to pray consistently, pray. So it's really true. So I'll see you guys on another video. Love you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.